we're going to get started. Welcome to the July public hearing of the City of Roanoke Board of Zoning Appeals. This meeting is being broadcast via Facebook Live, so please make sure that sound on all electronic devices is turned off during the meeting. If you wish to speak to any matter, the chair will recognize you in turn. And at that time, please state your name and residential address so that the secretary may record the proceedings accurately. All persons shall be afforded the opportunity to speak and state their views concerning all aspects of these matters. Ms. Gardner, would you please take the roll?
Mr. Garner?
Here.
Mr. Hamler?
Here.
Mr. Logan?
Here.
I'm not seeing Mr. Miller. Ms. Smith?
Here. Okay. Next is the approval of today's agenda. May I have a motion and a second to approve the agenda?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Logan. Mr. Hamler? Ms. Gardner, would you please take the vote?
Mr. Garner?
Aye.
Mr. Hamler?
Aye.
Mr. Logan?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye. Thank you. And now, board members, may I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes for today?
So moved. Second.
Thank you, Mr. Gardner. Mr. Hamler? Ms. Gardner, would you please take the vote?
Mr. Garner?
Aye.
Mr. Hamler?
Aye.
Mr. Logan?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye. And since we have no unfinished business today, we will move on to new business. Ms. Gardner, would you please be the first item of business?
Bear with me. Lots of stuff going on over here. Okay. Application by Serlene Balbino and Renato Silva for property located at 1009 Ray Road Southeast, bearing official tax map number 4290203, zoned R5 residential district for a special exception pursuant to section 36.2-311 zoning code of the city of Roanoke as amended to permit a homestay.
Thank you. Is the applicant present today? Would you please approach the podium? And just state your name and residential address right now for the record.
Serlene Balbino. 1009 Ray Road, Virginia, 14014.
Thank you very much. Please raise your right hand. I'll swear you in. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you'll give today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you so much. Tell us about your application.
Okay, my application is about the Airbnb, and I'm asking for, what you do that, what you do that, and I had a few complaints. I believe it's 2 of neighbor, and they had concerning, but I guess one of them talk about crimes and things, and crimes is that way, unfortunately. But Airbnb is very concerning about who are renting, and most of them, I believe, is not vendors or anything like that. And they figured out something about the fraud, because fraud is on. And we've been there almost 20 years. We never had that problem yet. But we get control, they weather, But my concern today is to ask you all to let me do this.
Thank you so much. Board members, do you have any questions for the applicant?
Mr. Miller, would you please elaborate on the floodplain issue and the potential issue?
Sure. This particular property is located in the regulatory floodway, which is the most highly regulated portion of the special flood hazard area. There was a question that came up, I think, in the work session that I did want to cover here in the public hearing, so that it's officially recorded in the minutes of the meeting. The question had to do with the use restrictions of the regulatory floodway. In section 36.2-333 of the zoning ordinances, our floodplain overlay section. What it stipulates is that any accessory use related to a residential dwelling is a permitted use in the floodway. And so because homestay is a accessory use to the residential principal use being conducted on site, it's my determination that the homestay would be a permitted use in the floodway.
Thank you, Mr. Horn. Board members, are there any other questions for the applicant? I would like to address something that we did talk about in the work session, which is the issue of egress in bedrooms. Without being an authority on this matter, it was brought up that potentially there could be, I'm certain there could be an issue with egress through such a small window as you see in the bedroom as pictured. Now that could be, if there is another point of egress for that room, but I'd like to ask Mr. Moore to speak a little bit on that and how it could affect this with the occupancy.
Yeah, so one of the things that we would do after approval of an application such as this is that we would require what is called a residential certificate of occupancy. Part of that process is an inspection of the dwelling unit in the portions of the dwelling unit in which the guests would have access to. Part of that Virginia Maintenance Code inspection does include things like ingress, egress, making sure that there are working fire alarms and detectors in the building, as well as making sure that things such as windows and doors aren't painted shut. So that would be something that would be covered during that residential certificate of occupancy inspection and request.
Thank you very much. Okay, so considering what the board has asked and what the research staff has done, is there a staff recommendation of this application?
Yes. Staff has recommended approval of the application subject to the following conditions. The applicant shall obtain a certificate of occupancy for the homestay use of the structure within 12 months of the granting of the special exception. 2, the operator of the homestay shall obtain an inspection by the city to ensure compliance with the Virginia Maintenance Code every 12 months. Failure to obtain an inspection demonstrating compliance with the Virginia Maintenance Code for a period of time exceeding 24 months shall constitute discontinuance of the use, and the special exception shall become void. Number 3, the subject property shall maintain compliance with all applicable state and local laws, ordinances, and regulations as they relate to the homestay. Upon repeated violations of laws and regulations as they relate to the homestay, Board of Zoning Appeals may revoke the special exception in accordance with section 36.2-560E.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Ms. Palomino, are you aware of these conditions that are recommended for this file? Yeah. Great, thank you. All right, board members, do you have any questions for staff? Hearing none, at this time, I will go ahead and open up the public hearing. Ms. Gardner, is there anyone registered to speak on this matter? No one registered. Is there anyone present who would like to speak?
I asked if I need to register.
You don't need to register, but you can come up.
Sure. So Ms. Palomino, I'll let you sit down here in the front row. We may call you back up, and sir, you can approach the podium.
Good evening, board members. My name is Perry Connor. I live at 1024 Elford Road, which is right behind.
And sir, before we go too much further, we'll swear you in. So just state your name and residential address.
My name is Perry Connor, and my address is 1024 Elford Road, Roanoke, Virginia.
Thank you so much. And do you swear that the testimony you'll give today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you so much. Go ahead.
I'm right behind you here, on the map. We lived there 30 years. My fears is, my wife had a stroke 10 years ago, and I had to take early retirement to be able to stay with her and take care of her. And one of my fears on this is that my taxes are gonna keep going up like they do every year. And it's really gonna affect us if we're on fixed income. And we really don't want this to happen, because to me, if you're in the dwellings, you can't get out if you have a flash flood. But that's bad, in any circumstance, in my opinion. And as far as she said something about, it might have been me, because her husband coming up, asked me, I know somebody stole something from him yesterday. He said they lived there for 17 years, I've never spoken to them. With everything going on at the southern border, no matter what side of it you're on, there's a whole lot of stuff going on there that's very concerning to me. If they want that lifestyle to be right behind. And I just want to come and let you guys know, I'm against it. Don't think it should happen. We've got a good, safe, quiet community, and I'd like to keep that way.
Thank you for your input very much. Is there anyone else present who would like to speak to this matter? Hearing none, I will close the public hearing portion of this matter. Board members, do you have any further comments or questions for staff or for the applicant?
I'll speak just briefly, as I always do when situations similar to this come about, and that's just so everybody understands that when we are approached with an application for special exception, we have 6 items that we are allowed by law to consider. They're in the city code. They may be referenced in the state code, but definitely it's in the Roanoke City code. And these things are primarily physical, such as parking and burden on water and sewer utilities, that kind of thing. And unfortunately, things such as sentiment of the neighborhood, sentiment of the neighbors, such things as the potential that there could be an increase in crime or something like that are sometimes not measurable and things that we're not allowed to consider. So anyway, as I look at this, I consider the 6 things that we're allowed to consider by law.
Thank you, Mr. Logan. I appreciate that clarification. Anything else from board members at this time? Okay.
Before we vote on it, Mr. Moore, state the motion, please, are in the issues that were applied to the project.
Restate the conditions, is that what you're asking?
Sure. The first one is the applicant shall obtain a certificate of occupancy for the homestay use of the structure within 12 months of the granting of the special exception. Number 2, the operator of the homestay shall obtain an inspection by the city to ensure compliance with the Virginia Maintenance Code every 12 months. Failure to obtain an inspection demonstrating compliance with Virginia Maintenance Code for a period of time exceeding 24 months shall constitute discontinuance of the use, and the special exception shall be void. The subject property shall maintain compliance with all applicable state and local laws, ordinances, and regulations as they relate to the homestay. Upon repeated violations of laws and regulations as they relate to the homestay, the Board of Zoning Appeals may revoke the special exception in accordance with section 36.2-560E of the zoning ordinance.
I would also just like to note that we did receive some public comment that was provided to the board beforehand via email and phone calls.
Yes, we did receive public comment that was. Okay, Ms. Salvina, are you aware that for this file to be approved, you do need 4 affirmative votes?
Yes.
Okay, and you do have only 4 members of the board present today, so we would all need to vote yes. You do have the option to continue this file if you would like to, or we can take the vote.
Take the vote.
Okay, all right, we'll go ahead with the vote. You probably vote.
So we'll need a motion and a second for an amended application, and then we'll move on.
So I move that the application be such conditions recommended. That's it.
Second.
we have a motion and a second, now we need to take a vote for the amended application.
This is the vote to amend the application. Mr. Garner, Mr. Handler, Mr. Logan, and Ms. Smith.
Aye. And now that we have an amended application, we need to vote on that.
Motion second.
Motion and a second. Do I have a motion to approve the amended application? Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Thank you.
Mr. Garner,
Aye.
Mr. Handler.
Aye.
Mr. Logan.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye. Congratulations, your application. is approved. All right, moving on to our next matter. Ms. Gardner, could you please bring this next matter into record?
Application by C. Kawaja on behalf of Valley Petroleum LLC for property located at 1212 Williamson Road Northeast, 1304 Williamson Road Northeast, and 0 Carver Avenue Northeast, bearing official tax map numbers 3020201, 3070901, and 3070903 in the Zone CG Commercial General District for a special exception pursuant to section 36.2-315 zoning code of the city of Roanoke as amended to permit a drive-through facility.
Please state your name and residential address.
Ben Crew, Baldwin Associates, 1208 Corporate Circle, Roanoke, Virginia, 241A.
So much. You solemnly swear that the testimony you give today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Appreciate it. Go right ahead.
Good afternoon. Excited to be with you all today. Agent representing the property owner, Valley Petroleum LLC, who is represented today by Safe Kawaja, who's with me. And so we're just going to share a couple of items. Yes, Safe is excited to continue his investment in the city of Roanoke. He has other properties, other commercial developments that he's been involved with the city that have been very successful. He's excited to put this property in line with those. We're utilizing an existing convenience store that's on site with improvements specific to the drive-through request that's before you all this afternoon to support his proposed business. It's great that the existing zoning is already in place. We're just here for the STP related to the drive-through portion of the project. We're excited that the project meets the 6 standards as outlined. Mr. Logan spoke about those a little bit earlier as part of the BZA application request, and also the supplemental regulations related specifically to the drive-through portion of the project. And so both of these items are part of the application, but will be submitted and reviewed hopefully once we get to the next step in the development review process to ensure those are in compliance as part of the construction document process. So excited to be before you today, excited to have staff's approval as part of this request, and be happy to answer any questions.
Board, do you have any questions for the applicant?
I have one question.
Sure.
So the drive-through, like, is the portion that looks like it's very tight?
Yeah, so it's the portion on the, we'll say, plan north and plan west of it. And so the drive-through is only required to be 12 feet wide. If we can get a few more feet in there, it makes it a little bit more comfortable around that curve. But 12 feet is the minimum for that drive aisle to wrap around the building and have vehicles be able to appropriately access it. Yep.
Board members, any other questions? And then can we have staff's recommendation?
Yeah, before I do the recommendation, I just wanted to say we did have one item of public comment on this. It was just a question. They wanted more details about the nature of the application. We reached back out to that individual and directed them to the webpage where we hosted the agenda package and the application. So I never heard back from that individual after that dialogue. Staff recommends approval of this application. Staff finds the request for the special exception to establish a drive-through facility at this subject property is appropriate and consistent with the city's comprehensive plan and the Williamson Road area plan, and meets the 6 criteria for the granting of a special exception.
Thank you very much. Board members, do you have any questions for staff? This time I'll open up the public hearing. Is there anyone registered to speak on this matter? Okay, is there anyone present who would like to speak on this matter? Hearing none, I will close the public hearing. All right. I will need a motion and a second.
Move to approve the application.
Thank you, Mr. Williams, Mr. Hamler. Now that I have a motion and a second, Ms. Berger, will you call for the vote?
Mr. Gardner,
Aye.
Mr. Hamler,
Aye.
Mr. Logan,
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye. Congratulations, application is approved. Right. Seeing that there are no other matters to discuss on today's agenda, we will go ahead and adjourn the public hearing.
Motion.